So Joshua, I'm in a little bit of a predicament.
Oh, what's the issue, Robert?
Well, last week we posted an episode of the podcast called "The Last Episode of the Podcast," and for some reason, people thought that was going to be the last episode of the podcast.
Yeah, I don't really understand why they would infer that.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Cat ask you.
No, but because in that episode we actually told people we're going to have a new podcast. We're not even ending the podcast. We're doing another podcast. There's double the amount of podcasts now.
Well, we're doing an after show basically for Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah.
Talk a bit about the Mandalorian after each episode. I suppose that's what an after show is.
Yeah, well, I would hear that one.
Well, let's be honest with our listeners. We were initially going to rename the podcast Two Men in a DeLorean, but then we got backlash from all of you about how bad the name was, and from all of you, I just mean our family and friends when we told them.
It's like that's long and confusing, and it's not even a pun.
Yeah, so we're probably going to change to the Naked Boys
podcast
soon.
No, never.
We are.
No, over my dead body.
That can be arranged.
You're going to have to go into my head, into my nightmares, during nights, and kill me in my dreams to make that possible.
Well, Robert, I'd have to be like Freddy Krueger to do that.
Oh, you would have to be like Freddy Krueger.
Speaking of Freddy Krueger,
what was that?
It's my obvious transition voice.
That's your obvious transition.
We're gonna be talking about Nightmare on Elm Street today.
Is he French?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, is he British? I love. We're gonna be talking about Nightmare on Elm Street.
And I just want to say goodbye to all the listeners who are leaving now. Goodbye. Have a great day.
Anyways, yeah, we watched A Nightmare on Elm Street on Halloween night after running around partially nude in a cemetery, which was quite enjoyable.
Good times, yeah.
So we're gonna be discussing that today, and without further ado, without further ado,
any ado, honestly.
Let's hit the news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. This is RobCast Podcast news segment coming to you live.
So Joshua, tell me, what we got for the news this week?
Just got a couple quick little hits, boom, 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 boom.
Oh, you punched me.
To begin,
physical on the podcast, man. Like,
it's the listeners. They
it's
want it.
Audio.
They want to see.
Only.
They want to feel. They want to hear.
I feel
they want to touch
in my arm when you punched me.
And the listeners can sense that, and it's more interactive. It brings them into the podcast experience.
Does it?
It does. Anyways. Let's talk a little bit about the Snyder Cut. We've been getting tidbits of news for like months. We talk about it like every episode.
And we will until it comes out in like 5 years.
I know.
We're talking about Superman's mustache predicament.
Yeah.
Will he not have a mullet and a mustache?
This one in Spider-Man 3, we always get those little kisses of cheeks on.
Exactly. Like, we're going to be talking about them forever. And you're gonna hate it because it'll be like, oh, we have to talk about this again. It's like, yes.
It's not like each episode when we go through the news.
It's like, oh, do we have to talk about it? We should just call this news segment, oh, do we have to talk about this?
It's actually not bad.
It's a good podcast name, actually. Oh, do we have to talk about it?
No, again, that's really also long and clunky and doesn't really relate to what we talk about.
I just like the McClunky podcast.
Probably would cause disinterest from prospective listeners as well.
Yeah, because people would be like, oh, why I have to listen to this? But then they're like, oh, wait, I don't. And then they would just leave.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, bit of news.
Jinx again. Our mental synchronization. Anyways, Snyder Cut. Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg, stated that almost all of his scenes were reshot when Joss Whedon came into the fold. So we could be getting a really different look at Cyclops, Cyborg in the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, so basically anything we've seen of Cyborg will not be the original. See,
that's true.
Yeah,
right?
like
everything.
Everything's gonna be new. So like even like the character choice of him being like kind of bland and boring, it could all be different. He could be like the booyah fun, Cyborg who plays football, just chills with his friends.
I guess, but also like
says booyah.
His backstory, I guess, in the movie, who knows whether it'll stay, but it's kind of
mother.
No, it's kind of like it has a bit of sadness to it too. So I don't know if we'll be getting exactly that Cyborg, but it's very, very, very interesting. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. I just have one more point here, Joshua. I know you like making the news quick.
Yeah, I want to just go boom, boom, boom.
I want to move
boom, 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 boom.
Stop. I want to make it as long as possible. I think anything different about this movie, differentiate from the first one, is a win. Because hindsight's 2020, even though 2020 sucks. You may continue with your news now.
You made us extend our points on that to make that joke.
Yes.
But yeah. Anyways,
it's vital for it.
A little bit Spider-Man.
Even though that joke can probably be cut out in editing. It's vital that I said that joke.
And now we have to cut out all of this too.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Spider-Man 3. We've got some news from a reputable leaker from 4chan.
4chan, damn.
Yeah, who stated that they're going to be calling it Spider-Man Home Run, and that there's going to be 2 villains in it, Craven and Scorpion, who we saw in Homecoming. And Henry Cavill is a potential choice to play Craven.
With a mustache/goatee?
I would like that. Did he have any facial hair in Enola Holmes?
He didn't, but he had it Mission Impossible. He had a nice...
well, that was why.
Of course,
yeah.
Of course it started the Henry Cavill mustache thing entirely. But
yeah, but I'd love to see Craven. I liked it better when there was more unknown actors in the MCU, because you've seen these people in a million things before, right? Yeah, but they grow into the character. Whether it's one of their first roles, they become the character almost, right? In your mind, at least. And sometimes it's hard to look past Superman or it's Enola Holmes.
No, see, entirely Tom Holland, who was an unknown actor at the time,
exactly.
Of the thing, who mostly featured in stage plays and smaller performances as a child. Basically, he is Spider-Man now. He in life is actually Spider-Man. He believes that he's Spider-Man. He's embedded in this role. He's such a method actor that he thinks that he is Spider-Man.
Him and Robbie Pat's just living in caves, eating
microwaving pasta.
Species. Yeah. A little bit of Spider-Man news we got was J.K. Simmons. Apparently he's contractually obligated, signed to appear in several MCU movies. So we'll be seeing a lot more of J.K.
Yeah. And I wonder if that just means future Spider-Man movies, because what they have been thinking, because as we discussed last week, they might be branching off into the future Spider-Verse with the inclusion of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, introducing them and then splitting off so we finally get to Spider-Man 4.
That'd be sick.
And then some people, I guess, would enjoy Amazing Spider-Man 3.
And if Marvel does it, I wouldn't mind.
See, I'm not foreseeing a good Sinister Six movie. They have some, the designs, I really like in those movies, so who knows?
Robert, I don't pay you to be a sensitive artiste. I pay you because that freak Josh will do podcasts with you. I'm sorry, Mr. Josh, but I only got this 20. Oh, wait, no, it's Mr. Dickovish.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're mixing quotes here, Joshua.
You're fired.
No, but honestly,
you're unfired.
I really wish Andrew Garfield was just in better Spider-Man movies, because he's a good actor. In The Social Network or any of his other work.
We should watch that.
Act. Yeah, you haven't seen
apparently
that?
That's a sick movie, yeah.
I have. Multiple times.
Oh, have you? Okay, I need to watch that.
Aaron Sorkin, baby.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Speaking of Andrew Garfield, I hope they keep the costume from The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yes.
The first one.
Really? You were a fan of the first one?
It's different. It'll differentiate the different Spider-Man. I didn't hate it.
I feel like the lenses were whiter. If the lenses were just a bit wider, it would be
sure.
Because it's a weird gold color in that.
Yeah, it was yellow. Maybe I'm open to that. But I think if you have it, the Spider-Man 2 costume is fine, but it's just to have a bit diversity, right? And I don't mind the first costume. I remember I was actually at an age where I was aware when the first trailer came out and those movies started to come out.
On the dial-up internet, you would turn on the internet and it would take 30 minutes to download the trailer.
I had to watch the trailer on QuickTime or something. Yeah. Or I think I had to watch it on iTunes.
So you had to pay 15 cents or something?
No, I didn't have to pay, but now you just go on YouTube and you're like, ooh, look at this trailer.
Yeah.
But yeah. Moving on with the news, we have a couple of Suicide Squad adjacent tidbits, another thing that we've been talking about for 1,700 weeks.
And we will continue to be talking about for 700 weeks. Probably just make an entire podcast and we just clip all of the related DC stuff we talk about every week into just one.
Yeah, legit. But the news there is that, number one, apparently Black Adam was going to be the villain in the new Suicide Squad movie before James Gunn came on. Okay. That would have been very cool.
It's kind of I'm guessing they would still be doing the solo movie after that then. Kind of give him an origin, but I feel like that...
Yeah, probably.
See, I feel like the Suicide Squad, it works well in kind of smaller threads. They're not, I know that it's Suicide Squad's made, especially the first one, which I actually watched.
Yeah.
It's not made to fight giant demon ladies or Enchantress or whatever it was in that movie. It's made to, they're made to kind of go in and just be Iconics' team, go into war zones and, fight the good fight, capture hostages. They're a task force. They're Task Force X. They're not what's Harley Quinn gonna do against Black Adam?
I was just about to say the same thing. He's
Adam.
Gonna turn her into ashes.
He's gonna look at that. They're just gonna snap half of their necks, and then the other half is the next up tier ones, King Shark, might have a chance for 30 seconds.
Yeah, even him will get destroyed absolutely.
Yeah, it's the rip off the back fin and put his head on a wall.
It would have been cool though. Even though I agree with everything you're saying, it would have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been also stupid, but it would have been cool.
I know. Just like, yeah, imagine the movie. It's like the whole thing. It's like building up the Suicide Squad, making all these characters more likable, getting to the fight. Black Adam
then he
shows
just puts
up,
his hand through their head.
and then he just like murders all of them in like 2 seconds.
Maybe it would have been like Captain Marvel, where he had some sort of like power restricting device on him.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, it's like his little shocky thing from like Thor Ragnarok that just like knocks
This
him
inhibitor
out.
chip keeps the power from surging. I don't know.
Any sci-fi movie in general.
But doctor,
power.
how do you prevent the arms from controlling you?
Well, this pyramid trip's in a small plastic container, and so as long as that doesn't break.
Yeah, but he's not like battling people.
It's a small plastic container.
It's glass.
Okay, what if Peter came up to like Doc and was like, "Good job, Doc," and you like patted him on the back of the neck, breaks the chip.
Yeah, why would he do that?
Because he was like, "Good job, friend, Doc."
No, it was a freak accident. I'm talking about Spider-Man 2 if we're not off topic enough.
Yeah.
So speaking of King Shark, apparently he might be in the new Peacemaker series.
Ooh,
which is going to be dumb. We talked about the Peacemaker series before.
John Cena, baby.
Jonathan Cena. And yeah, I like King Shark. So
just HBO Max.
Might as well put him in something that I'll probably never watch. Yeah. So yeah.
I do really like the incarnation of King Shark that's on the Harley Quinn show.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
I just like everything in the Harley Quinn show. Like that show's just really good, honestly.
Yeah. I've watched most of the first season too. Yeah, it's a good show. Mm-hmm. It's a good show.
Definitely.
Excellent. So that's all our news for today. And without further ado, let's swing into our A Nightmare on Elm Street talk.
Let's fall asleep and start dreaming.
Start dreaming on the pod. Hey everyone, it's Josh.
And it's Rob.
And we just finished recording and we forgot to talk about the Halloween Kills trailer. Came out on Halloween night. Halloween Kills, unfortunately, was delayed from this year to next year. Michael Myers' New Adventure, sequel to 2018's Halloween, direct sequel to the 1978 Halloween.
Adventures in Babysitting. It's also a sequel to
Yes. So we're going to give our quick little thoughts about that. We'll insert it somewhere in the podcast. Yes. So, Robert, cool trailer, eh?
Yeah, really cool trailer. Someone who has only seen the first Halloween, not the 2018 one. Definitely makes moments.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, so I'll talk about a couple of things. Number one, the shots were quite good.
Yeah,
the initial 3 shots of the pumpkin, the street, and then like the houses, it really gives you that. Number one, the shots are very crisp and beautiful. You get the moonlight, but it gives you that feeling of Halloween night at 2 a.m. when it's dead quiet.
That's what you want on Halloween night. I had some rustling and then like a door opening. I was just very confused.
Yelling outside.
Yeah,
but it
really
free. Come to me, demons.
No, but I do feel like this trailer really captures the first Halloween iconic with the pumpkin imagery and the streets. But also there's some shots that are being kind of reused from the first one or an homage. Like the hand smacking the car window from on top.
Yeah, it's in cracking the glass. Yeah, that's a direct callback to the first movie when he escapes the asylum and you see the hand with the wrench coming and hit the window. Not supposed to see the wrench, but yeah.
No, it's just a bare hand.
Effects.
No, because I do feel like this trailer, I don't know about the 2018 one, but I do get the feeling that he's just an unstoppable force.
Yeah, so they really the cast and the directors and stuff, they really keep hyping it up that the new movie is a 2018 version on drugs. It's going to be more violent, going to be more gore, and you see that where when he hits the guy in the mouth with like the hammer or the wrench, and like you see blood and guts like splattering out.
I thought it was a spit.
Yeah, well, perhaps that too. But this movie, it's been said it's going to be like 2018 movie on steroids, and I'm very much here for that. And you see him walk a crisp crunch of leaves as he picks up the burned mask. Puts it on again. That's going to be cool too to see they kept the same mask, which is good because there's way too much mask discontinuity between all the other Halloween movies. But they added the burn obviously because he was in the house.
They got it right. Like it wasn't horrible last time. Just keep it the same.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love the 2018 mask.
Yeah, because it has a lot more texture to it. You know?
It's aged. It's like aged cheese.
Like someone dipped a tea bag on it. Like
yeah, that too. Yeah, legit though. Did you ever do the trick as a kid, like to make your project look like old timey paper? You would bake it and put tea bags on it,
and then you burn the edges.
Yeah.
See, actually,
sorry. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one time I actually burnt my assignment. I need to tea bag one because I burnt too much. And the paper started catching on fire like very rapidly.
Oh boy, yeah, we had to buy a new oven after that.
Yeah, it was pretty fun setting the house on fire.
Yeah, but yeah, the trailer's really good. There's one other thing I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, another thing that's been said a lot that you really see in this trailer is the fact that this movie is going to be very much like The Town versus Michael Myers. The horrors that this man has inflicted on this town's not going to take it anymore. Haddonfield's going to fight back. You're going to see kind of a mob mentality, and it's going to be interesting. I'm excited. You saw hints of that in Halloween 4, or I believe. You saw a little bit of that in Halloween 4, but we're gonna get, or even 5. I forget exactly. But I think we're gonna do it actually properly this time. And it's gonna be really cool.
Quick question though: do you think like in Halloween 2018?
Mm-hmm.
Do people believe her? Like, do they think like Michael's out there and stuff, or are they like, nah, he's not real. That's just
No.
some sort of legend.
It's
and
like
story that people tell their kids about the boogeyman.
No. It's like Ted Bundy. He's like a serial killer.
Okay.
Or I guess he killed like however many people on that one night. Then he went to jail. People think she's pretty paranoid because she's still like, well, she has a lot of PTSD. You tell she struggles with like her mental health because of the trauma that was inflicted on her that night.
Yeah.
And people think she's paranoid and crazy.
But doesn't she also have like a Sarah Connor style Terminator, like just weapon full like guns and stuff?
Exactly. Yeah, so perhaps we're justified in
Hot Fuzz style,
craziness.
like opens up the shed, just rows of just like
I mean,
shotguns.
I don't want to spoil it, but it's pretty much yeah. So it's gonna be extremely exciting. I'm gonna definitely see this movie in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait. And yeah, those are our thoughts about the trailer. And we'll insert this somewhere in the podcast.
Okay.
I suppose we'll end this with a little Rob out.
Rob out, guys.
Rob.
So Nightmare on Elm Street, directed and written by Wes Craven. The 1984 film is honestly a deep-hearted Halloween classic, even though it has no real connection to Halloween.
Well, I think horror is generally like part of that Halloween kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wes Craven, he's a horror icon, right?
Exactly.
He did Last House on the Left, The Hills Have Eyes. Those are like two like kind of classic low budget horror movies.
Scream 4.
Okay,
3.
I'm reading. You don't have to read off the non chronological list. So he did those two. Then he did Nightmare on Elm Street in '84, which kind of brought him into the zeitgeist of horror. And then he did Scream in the early '90s, '89 maybe.
Have you seen the Scream films?
Yes, we watched it together.
No, the other ones.
I saw the second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are the second one's any good?
Second one was okay.
Okay.
I think I talked about this in the pod before, but I kind of spoiled it for myself when I was looking through like the cast list and it listed the character's like real name. So that kind of put a damper on things, but
so it's like, yeah, this person's the murderer.
Well, more or less, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so Wes Craven, horror icon. This was his big
kind of outbreak film.
Kiss in the cheek. Who's to say? But yeah, great movie. We enjoy. I mean, we'll talk more about it. Do you want to give it maybe a rating?
Ooh, rating. Okay. Out of what? What's the rating system here?
I don't know. Like, we've done out of 10, but I have like my little tiered system. I have like Halloween and Scream in the top tier.
Okay.
A movie kind of like Candyman in the second tier. The third tier is, I guess, just like okay. I'll probably put it in the second tier too. The 1991.
People just trying to visualize this. It's just like,
yeah,
you're saying a lot of things. I'm not understanding any of it.
The third tier horror movies. I'm not done yet.
Okay,
Robert.
go ahead.
I'm not done yet, Robert.
Sorry,
please don't.
Please
interrupt.
continue. Please. Hey, everyone, stop talking. Listen to what Justin's going to say.
Really good, like amazing, really good, good, mediocre, and then like bad.
Okay.
So I'd put Nightmare on Elm Street. Right now, it's in really good. I want to watch it again because it's the kind of movie I think that would benefit from a second viewing in terms of like getting the full grasp of it. What say you, Rob?
I really enjoyed this movie. The fact that like it wasn't really the most scariest movie I've ever seen. Like I wasn't like the edge of my seat, or I wasn't jump scaring. It was just slightly unsettling, which I really did enjoy. And it was also just a really interesting premise. It was like out of a Christopher Nolan movie. A murderer comes and kills you in your dreams.
Yeah.
Like that's
high
just
concept,
like,
I suppose.
Exactly. Like I live for the high concept films.
Yeah, well, I would agree. That's kind of, it's different than the slasher, like a lot of the slasher movies that you see at that time. So it definitely is a selling point of it. So why don't we get into the IMDb game?
Yeah, IMDb.
IMDb. I'm a defensive back for a football team.
So I'm a defensive back.
Much like Brandon Marshall, who was a wide receiver.
Oh, not this again. We've got lots of letters being like, who the hell's Brandon Marshall?
Yeah, if you listen to our Mandalorian show, you'll
hear more about Brandon Marshall than you will the actual Mandalorian.
Yeah, than you ever wanted to.
Okay. Anyway, so I will go first.
You go first, Robert. Rob Todd. R-O to the B.
A young woman has to stay awake at night so she can avoid being killed by a mysterious man with nicer fingers who's been coming to kill her and her friends in their dreams.
Okay.
Go ahead, Josh. Repeat that.
Can you repeat that?
No. A young woman has to try to stay awake at night to avoid getting killed by a mysterious man for knives or fingers who's been coming to kill her and her friends in their dreams.
Okay. Mine is Freddy Krueger hunts children in a small town and eats their face. Wait, no, I'm not done yet.
Eats their face? Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be something like the Freddy Krueger or Nancy is terrorized by the mysterious Freddy Krueger who murders children in their dreams.
Okay. So basically, you're just if it has Freddy Krueger in the name, I think you automatically win.
And Nancy.
Let's see.
Oh boy. Damn, I'm just gonna go in that direction too. Shall I say it?
You shall say it.
The monstrous spirit of a slain child murderer seeks revenge by invading the dreams of teenagers whose parents were responsible for his untimely death. I was gonna go in that direction too, but I'm like, you know what? I just kind of
close here.
Wait, show me yours again.
A young woman has to, because I said the awake thing.
I think we both lose.
I say like the part about the children though.
I said children. I said her friends. Yeah. You said woman.
I said a young woman.
I think we both lose on that one.
Yeah. Okay. No one wins. You, the audience, wins.
Yeah.
For listening this far.
I think we all lose.
Yeah. If you're listening to this, you're pretty fairly just. Anyway, yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street. Joshua, what was this movie about?
Well, okay, so it begins with a girl. We were introduced to the characters of the movie, Nancy, who's kind of the final girl, if you will, in slasher terminology. Tina, her boyfriend, whose name was...
Who's at a West Side Story, yes.
Rod. And Glenn, who's Nancy's boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. I think he's played by, I don't know, like he's a very low-key actor, right, Glenn?
He's played by Johnny Depp.
Yeah, like no one really knows who he is. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's kind of...
I think this is his only film, right?
This is his biggest film, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, biggest film, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the only one where there's a character with knives for her hands, right? Yeah.
I don't get that one.
No, Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, yeah.
His knives for hands.
That's funny, yes. Excellent.
See, my jokes are funny.
That's good. Well...
It's a give and take.
Yeah. It's
every other joke is like, I guess it's funny.
Anyway,
continue.
Yeah. So basically, there's been a couple of them say that they've been plagued by dreams with a mysterious man in it, and that night we see Tina's dream, and that's kind of our first introduction to Freddy Krueger, who is this mysterious man in her dreams, burnt face. I'm sure you know the iconic costume and whatnot, but that was kind of I like that scene, seeing him for the first time, and then the thing where his arms extend out.
Yeah, like
that was freaky.
Like honestly, I keep saying it's like the look really shouldn't work. If you described like imagine someone with a burnt face, a striped sweater,
like a fedora,
yeah, and a leather glove with some knives on it, like. That shouldn't work, but it does so well.
Like even in the production when they were doing like the thing with the long arms, they had to like basically it was like a prosthetic thing, right? Like it was a practical effect, and they held it up with like string. And the effects dude or like the people that were like, yeah, this is gonna look so bad. And then he talked about how he saw the movie later. He's like, damn, man, I'm surprised it turned out like it works, right?
Because this movie doesn't really take itself too seriously. You know, I feel like it fits with the tone of like. This crazy killer who just like popping up from nowhere. Like it fits with kind of the look of him entirely. Like the fact that he morphs and changes and just cuts himself up all the time. Mm-hmm. If it's like chop off a finger or like opening his chest.
Yeah.
Like it just works because it's like, who the hell is this? And I'm scared because I'm just so confused by everything.
Sure. Yeah. Well, they use a lot of practical effects and like in terms of tone,
they cut off his real fingers? Damn, that's commitment to a role.
Yeah, it's very committing. Anyways, they use a lot of practical effects, and in terms of the tone, they, like you said, they're not too serious about it, but like they commit to it too. They don't go too far in the other direction in terms of camp and stuff, right? Which became a problem later in the series, from what I've heard, where Freddy starts talking a bit too much.
Yeah,
well, that's kind of
a good horror movie thing is that unless you have a horror movie person who's like a meticulous, killer who like does like the long-winded monologues, Silence of the Lamb, yes,
yeah.
Unless you have like a Silence of the Lamb villain where it's all about like what he says and stuff, just the less words the better.
Well, I kind of like that Freddy says some stuff though. I like the fact that he's like a slasher killer that talks as opposed to like a Michael Myers or a Jason or stuff. I like what he says, but like the issue is like they got too liberal with the dialogue later on.
And then it's just like he comes out of a TV and it's like in the sequel, so he comes out of TV and he's like, oh, it's primetime television, and he's like, murders someone. It's
it gets a bit too much. But like in this movie, it was definitely a good balance. And his look was something that was really cool. Like you said, they did a lot of cool practical effects things. Like because since he kills his victims in dreams, you can get away with doing like a lot of stuff, right? Basically, right? That's part of the draw. You want to see the fantastical. You want to see just stuff that surprises you. It was very cool.
But also in the original design for Freddy, I forget who it was. I think it might have been Wes Craven. He was actually pushing for kind of the skin, like as it was fresh melted off, like it's kind of dripping from his face. But after realizing that he would be like running around and then like they would just have like this like flapping things on his face, they're like, maybe we'll just keep it to like they've fallen off and his face is just deformed. Props to that actor. It took him like 3 hours to get into the makeup every single day for shooting. So.
Oh, I know. And at the end, he would just kind of just rip it off as he walked off the set, basically. And people would have to go behind him to like pick up the like the entrails, I suppose, of his makeup that he left in his.
Just glue him back on the next day with like hot glue.
So Tina's obviously murdered in her dreams at that point early on in the movie, and her boyfriend's arrested for the crime because
there's a crime he didn't commit.
There's no one else in the movie, right, or in the room, right? So it's pretty cool. At this point, we're definitely like kind of like what the hell's going on.
Yeah, but I do feel like this should be like an open case because like how did he get the girl on the roof? Because there's blood smeared.
Ceiling?
Yeah, there's blood smeared all over the room, and like there's like barely blood on him except for what splashes on him a bit. Like I feel like how did a human even do that? Like that would be up for investigation, even if they caught him. Even if he's like it wasn't me, there was someone else there.
Sure, but it wasn't an open and shut case. Like they didn't like put him in the electric chair like 2 seconds later. But yeah, it's strange, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. To be fair, though, that scene was actually filmed using a Inception style with a revolving room.
Yeah.
Where they actually built this room with like all this lightweight objects that you have to be like super glued down, and then they just had her inside, kind of just like rolling around the room with like blood capsules on her.
So speaking of revolving rooms, let's just fast forward a bit in the plot. So Rod's arrested. Nancy starts falling. The main character, main girl, starts falling asleep and having dreams of Freddy coming after her. She like dreams about Freddy at school when she falls asleep during class, and she's able to wake herself up by burning herself in the dream.
Yes,
which is interesting. Kind of that you're kind of starting to question what's reality and what's a dream at that point. And then she wants to her plan. She tells her boyfriend Glenn, played by Johnny Depp. She wants to basically fall asleep and pull Freddy out of the dream to her because there was another incident. I believe in her.
Which is at the sleep lab, and then
at the sleep lab, basically because she's basically not sleeping because she's played by these dreams and Freddy, and she wakes up holding Freddy's hat, which she pulls out of the dream. So if Freddy's touching her when she wakes up, she can basically take him into the real world. So that's her plan to do it with Johnny Depp. However, and so she like Johnny Depp's basically gonna watch her while she sleeps. Not to sound creepy, but he's gonna watch over her.
He came in to the room and was like, "Hey, what's up, girlfriend?" And she's like, "Watch me as I sleep. Wake me up if I start struggling." And immediately falls asleep within 2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I kind of like, I like the rules of what happens in a dream is very through and far out. It's not really consistent because basically, like, she's like, if you get hurt in the dream, you wake up because she got burnt in school.
Not necessarily. She was forcefully trying to wake her up and like. You know what I mean? It's okay. You were saying it's inconsistent.
Yeah, but basically, because like when the other kids were murdered, like they were like, and then like when they were waking from the dream, they were both yelling in the real world because she was the girl in the first scene was yelling to her boyfriends like, "Hey, stop! There's someone here," but she was still being like murdered and stuff. So
so it's interesting to see like what the deal is, and
so at least to kind of my theory that when revealed at the end that the entire movie is in this entire nightmare and this character's just dreaming like the entire movie.
Thanks for skipping ahead to the end.
Just all in there.
Sure, why don't we just talk about the ending of the movie right now?
No, it's fine. We'll get there. We'll get there. No, but definitely like it's definitely like Inception style dream within a dream within a dream.
Yeah. So what I was trying to get to is that at a later point when her mom kind of goes crazy at one point and puts bars over the windows.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what that is. I guess because there's a killer on the loose. But her boyfriend falls asleep when he's supposed to be meeting her somewhere, Johnny Depp. And
I think she puts bars on because the boys have been coming into her room.
Oh yeah, true. That makes sense.
To be fair, she's like a vine garden thing, like a nice Romeo and Juliet thing that goes right up to her window.
Yeah, which is quite useful in some cases. But Johnny Depp's murdered in his dream. They also use a revolving thingy for that. but the issue was that it broke. So basically the room just started like spinning and like taking all of, or maybe I don't think either they weren't supposed to use a revolving room and it just kind of broke, or they were using the revolving room, but it went haywire a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it broke and like lights started breaking and like people, the dude pouring the blood got electrocuted because it was water basically, and the blood went everywhere and stuff. People got soaked, but they got the shot.
Yeah, that's what's important. Is this the one where he falls into the bed and then like the blood just like
it comes out style? Yeah, because that's an upside down, right? Yeah, exactly.
So well, actually, over 500 gallons of fake blood was used during the filming of this movie.
Nice.
So half of it was probably in that scene.
Probably, I would imagine.
I don't think a human blood holds that much blood. I was like, it levels of blood. Just
yeah, it's true. We'll talk about it later in the recommends.
Yes,
I watched. I mean, the original one. But yeah, no, that's another interesting point. And I suppose we can even, since you alluded to the ending before, we can continue in that sense, where basically Tina died. Tina's boyfriend Rob fell asleep in it. Rod fell asleep in his jail cell and was killed. Johnny Depp was killed.
I really like that scene though.
And yeah, well, thanks for advocating for murder.
Okay, no, but
Rob enjoys watching teens and young people get killed. He takes pleasure in it, actually.
In 5 years, my children will be listening to this or something.
In fear for their lives.
And then be like...
5 years? My God, when are you going to have children? 18,
I can listen.
20, 21, oh my God.
23, 27, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it.
Anyway.
I'm Ted Mosby. I want children right now.
Okay.
Anyway.
Good luck with that.
In the future, people listen to something like, oh, Rob is like, someone's going to clip it.
Rob is a predator.
Send it to my parents. Oh, God, not this. Anyway, what was I even going to say? Oh, yeah.
I was saying something before you interrupted.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you again. The scene where Rod dies, I actually kind of really enjoy Freddy slowly walking to the jail cell, like through the bars.
Yeah.
No,
he's just chilling, smiling at Nancy.
Yeah, and then you see in the real world where he's slowly pulling the sheets over his neck and he ties a noose to make it look like he committed suicide.
Yeah, and that was actually done. The thing curling around his neck, or the thing coming around his neck initially, was done through a reverse shot. So they had it there and they pulled it away, then they reversed it.
Nice.
Yeah,
got some like a lot of Evil Dead parallels in that. From horror.
Another little like old timey effects, right?
Exactly.
So what I was saying before you rudely interrupted me is that at this point in the movie, Nancy's mother reveals that Freddy Krueger was like a child murderer. That got off on technicality. Then the parents of the town, like, he was in some boiler room in some factory and they like burned it down, so he died. So now he's killing the children of the parents that did that. And there's kind of like an allusion to, like, I guess, like, it's not like explicit. Oh, they were gonna make it like he was a child molester, I think. But
in the sequels, I believe they specify on that.
They do, yeah. Well, in the reboot, they definitely do. Okay. But there was like some big, I guess, thing that came out about some children getting molested, so they changed it to child murderer, but so it's kind of only alluded to. But yeah, so Nancy's like, she knows what's up now, and she tells her dad, like, her dad is at the murder of Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
she's like, yo, come here in 25 minutes. I'm gonna pull Freddy out, shoot his butt.
No, 20 minutes. 20 minutes, knock down my door.
Yeah.
Not telling you why. It's like the killer's gonna be there in 20 minutes, just not telling her anything.
Yeah.
So basically, in 20 minutes, she has a busy 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, she basically sets her entire house up Home Alone style.
Yeah.
this movie is the original Home Alone.
She had a book about booby traps.
Yeah, she just had it's like, do you get that from the library? Does she just have one on hand?
Yeah.
I'm confused. Like, she sets up like a sledgehammer over the door. She makes explosive light bulbs. Like,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
And she sets up all these booby traps. And then in the same 20 minutes, talks through, has a nice heartfelt, talk with her mom about love and alcoholism, and the mom, in which case, pulls a bottle out from under her pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mom's a very crazy character in this. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Between like, hey daughter, you're like, all of your friends die, you need to sleep, and I'm gonna force you to sleep. Let's go to the sleep lab, honey.
She has her own demons.
Daughter, I murdered this guy.
Because I guess it's the parents are kind of like separated, right?
Yeah. And
her dad is actually played by John Saxon, who was kind of an icon at that time of playing like that police officer character. Because her dad is also a cop.
I definitely seen him as a cop.
Yeah, he played like law enforcement in like Nightmare or Black Christmas as well. Definitely a bunch of other things too. But he's kind of, when you see him, he has that sort of like
He just looks like your town.
yeah,
sheriff.
archetypal kind of sheriff type thing. Yeah, 100%.
So basically, she also falls asleep within those 20 minutes. Like, it should be like 3 a.m. at this point. Like,
well, I think
the booby traps alone should be a lot.
No, she uses 10 minutes to make the booby traps, 10 minutes to fall asleep. But you're right.
Can you fall asleep and talk to her mom?
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about the time.
I got a sledgehammer in the closet. I've actually prepared a little experiment. We're gonna try to set up all the booby traps
and then fall
asleep. 20 minutes.
Okay.
See, when I fall asleep, it takes me like an hour. It would take me an hour
know.
just for that. And then she has the events of the dream.
Yeah, because you have chronic back issues that like cause you
keep
to
you up at night.
Float in and out of sleep like intermittently.
And causing me to float up the walls into the ceiling.
Yeah,
spewing blood during the night.
Yeah, but the climax, I like the climax.
Yeah,
like
it's
that
cool.
It was it. So I guess she pulls Freddy out and whatnot. They battle. She booby traps him and whatnot.
Mm.
So the interesting part is that she pulls him out. We think. She pulls him out.
Yes. Out of the dream by grabbing him when you wake up.
They battle, booby trapped him in the basement where she like lights him on fire or something, like gasoline lights him on fire. He runs upstairs. Her dad comes in. Freddy's upstairs trying to like kill the mom. So at that point,
like, I think the mom goes into her bed as like a skeleton.
No, her mom was alive, wasn't she? Or was
she died at the end, and then she came back in the very end, where there's the twist, which apparently a lot of people hate or love. It's controversial in some sense.
Yeah, but no, it was weird. So like at this point, you start to really doubt whether you're in reality or not. So like, the dad puts out the fire of like Krueger and the mom. Krueger and the mom like disappear into the bed, and the dad leaves the room. So like we're like, what the hell's going on? Then Krueger reappears, and Nancy basically makes him disappear by saying that like, I'm not scared of you anymore. I take back all the power I gave to you. Yeah, basically it's kind of fear.
Yeah.
That fear. She's not afraid anymore, and he like disappears. That was interesting. So then she wakes up. Then she wakes up, and she's like, "What the hell?" Krueger appears from behind the bed, comes after her again.
No, that's earlier on, isn't it?
No, that's after.
Is it?
Wait, no.
I could have sworn that happened originally.
Earlier on.
Yeah, I could have sworn that she woke up and she's like, "Oh, it didn't work," and then Krueger's like, "Hey, I'm here."
Oh, right, because she's dreaming.
She's dreaming.
Okay, yeah.
And then she wakes up and he's like, "Oh, my dad's not here."
No, okay, yeah. So she's dreaming, pulls him out. She's like, "What the hell's going on?" Krueger jumps up. Basement stuff happens. Starts smothering her mom. Fires out. Krueger disappears. Mom disappears. Dad leaves the room. Krueger reappears. He disappears when Nancy says, "Yo, screw you." Nancy then wakes up. It's bright. Her friends are outside.
Yes.
Her mom is there.
Some girls are skipping in the background.
Yeah, so she goes into the car with her friends basically. The top comes up. It's that red and green pattern of Krueger's shirt.
Like, I saw that. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Nancy starts freaking out. Krueger grabs the mom and pulls her through the door's window.
Yeah. The very comically small window.
Yeah.
They're locked in the car. They drive off.
They used a dummy for that to yank her through the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty obvious dummy, but yes.
Yeah, but it was interesting because it really leaves you thinking. And originally, I don't think Wes Craven wanted to do that. He wanted just to leave the ending.
Yeah. He wanted originally to be like a happy ending. Like he defeated her with the power of not being scared anymore.
Yeah.
Although I'm pretty sure like there's 100 other movies that end in the exact same way.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Like,
well,
I'm not scared of you anymore.
It's the horror movie trope of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm not scared of you anymore.
Yeah, but it's also the horror movie trope of the one last scare, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, it was really interesting. Kind of how, like that's why I want to watch it again because especially the last little bit. I feel like there's a lot of little things that you can.
Yeah, to kind of like hints that this was the dream the whole time.
Yeah.
No, but basically, what I find really interesting is that the cops are idiots. Like she's like screaming, "Hey, help me! The murderer's in here! Help me! Oh God, please help me!" The cops are like, I probably should get the sheriff. Okay,
Yeah.
let me casually walk inside, get the sheriff. She's like breaking her window, screaming.
I know. I mean, that's also a horror movie trope.
Cops being stupid, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Kind of to wrap up our discussion here, the genesis for the story kind of came from a series of articles that Wes Craven read, and I actually read a book where it kind of explained a lot of the stuff behind horror movies, kind of where the inspiration came from, and it was, don't quote me on the exact specifics, but it was Asian immigrants to the U.S. Were having basically just dying unexplained.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was this one article about this dude who believed that if he fell asleep again, he would die essentially. So he did the same thing kind of that Nancy did. He had like a coffee pot hidden in his room, and like he basically stayed up for like 10 days or however long. Then he finally fell asleep. His parents or his family put him in his bed. he starts screaming, and then they rush up to him, and he's dead when they get there.
No, because that story. It's that, and also a story that happened to Wes Craven in his actual childhood. I think he says when he was around 10. This is behind the scenes of the film. Basically, he was asleep at night, and then he looks out of his window, and there's a strange man in like a trench coat walking outside, and he just happened to look directly at him. Yeah. At night, and then like he was there for like a solid minute. It's like, oh my god, does he see me? But he can't. The room's dark, and then and the man on the street started to walk away as he continues to stare at this one window, and into the like apartment building complex that he was in. So Wes Craven, as a child, like starts running around like, wake up, everyone, wake up, wake up, and then like no one was downstairs, and said that no one actually entered the building. Yeah,
it's crazy. Well, it's interesting those two stories, right? Like he used a lot of biographical elements from his life to relate to the movie. Even like the song Dream Weaver. Yeah. He kind of like, it was kind of a bit of inspiration even for the kind of synthesizer for the movie soundtrack.
I love some good 80s synth.
Yeah, I think Nancy's boyfriend actually had that original, the rhyme that was used in the movie. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, lock your doors. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, I forget what that one is.
7, 8, grab your mate.
9, 10,
do it again.
Freddy's gonna kill you in your sleep. I don't know.
It doesn't rhyme, but yeah.
Anyways, I'm pretty sure this actually came from Nancy's or real life Heather Langenkamp's boyfriend at the time. So another interesting, like they're able to draw a lot of different influences to make the movie. Yeah. So altogether, good movie. I want to watch it again. It's not quite on the Halloween screen level for me just yet, but quite good.
I do really think that like just as like a I very touched on this, but as a premise alone, like this is just gold. And I really wish the sequels were better.
Hey, well, Joshua, we haven't seen them, so we can't really talk about them.
Yeah. Well, from most of them, but you kind of wrecked my transition. But speaking of sequels, Joshua.
Oh.
Do you care to make a pitch of a sequel to this movie?
Not really, because I wasn't prepped for this, but I think you have one.
I actually am overly prepped for this. Basically, I pitch a Halloween-style Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Do you mean Halloween the movie or Halloween the holiday?
Halloween the movie.
Okay.
As in Halloween 2018 of you wipe out all the continuity that people say is bad, and you just have the first one. You set it in present day. At this point, we will kind of be forgetting the last scene.
Well, the last scene is ambiguous. It can be taken in many different ways.
I'm incorporating it, don't worry. But basically what's going to happen is that when she said, I'm not scared of Freddy anymore, and Freddy comes into like a blue dust, Freddy is now trapped inside of her and only comes in her nightmares.
Oh, okay.
But he is unable to kill her, and he just keeps taunting her. It's like, I want to get out. Let me out. Let me out of your body.
Okay, so it's kind of like Nancy. It's 2020. Nancy is what, like 50, 60 years old now. 84 to 2020.
This is the tip. I have so much more.
Approximately 36 years, 18 plus 36.
Oh, you can just Google the actress age, but
no, she's like early 50s. No, I'm talking about the character's age.
Yeah.
So she'd be in your early 50s at this point. Continue.
Exactly. So basically, at the time, because of all the friends dying and stuff, she was medicated some PTSD drugs.
Yeah.
And basically,
PTSD drugs.
Basically, there's a certain type, like some antidepressants.
Sure.
And basically, I did some research, and some antidepressants can basically, to like help her sleep, some of them affect the way the brain works, so you don't enter REM sleep. And REM sleep is the state of sleep you're in when you dream.
Right.
So basically, she is able to avoid dreaming by taking these drugs and still able to sleep.
Okay, nice.
So by taking these drugs for years and years and years, she's been able to sleep and not been just being able to visit Freddy.
Yeah.
But this took an overloading toll on her body. So in present day, and she's grandchildren, she ended up marrying Johnny Depp's brother or something. I don't know. Jerry Depp.
Yeah. Continue.
And she falls into a coma.
Ooh.
That she's kind of shifting in and out of. And Freddy is released in this coma. So they have to try to use the power of love to get, her. I haven't thought this far, but basically, Freddy is released into the real world, and he exacts his revenge on like all of her kids and all the original cast members of the movie, the police officer, the father, the mother.
Sure.
And all that stuff. And the goal of the kids are trying to find a way to reawaken the mother from her coma. So they tried using Nancy from her coma. So they tried to use a kind of
pots and pans, banging them.
Yeah, just banging pots and pans. Wake up! It's like, Mom, it's Mother's Day. I made you breakfast in bed. No, but they tried using a seance.
Okay.
And so the end, it's like a giant seance, and it's like kind of, is this real or not?
Freddy pops out of the middle. That's cool. I like that. Interesting. Very cool. I'd be down for that. Yeah, I can see that being kind of like a nice bridge, like kind of like you said, like Halloween 2018 was to the original.
Then in the end, they burn him in a house,
Who would
and then
play...
they run away. And the teaser trailer is like, "No, he's alive again! No, don't burn down that house! Fire!" Like, okay, you realize that like that house is burning down. Like, they're not trying to stop the fire. That's a containment scenario. Like, you just want to stop that from spreading. That house is burning down either way.
Sure. I'm trying to think of who we could get to play Nancy.
Oh.
No. I mean the daughter of Nancy.
Oh, the daughter of Nancy.
Yeah, or daughter or granddaughter even. I guess it'd be granddaughter
sense.
maybe like in the Halloween 2018.
Great granddaughter. That's what you mean. Not sure.
Yeah. So let's see. Who could we get? I don't know, like Maisie Williams. How about, okay, I know. We'll get like somebody from Riverdale. Get Cami Mendes, Madeline Pesh.
I feel like you only have watched Riverdale. It's the one thing you have watched, and the one thing you will reference.
It's the best show ever. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about we just do Nightmare on Elm Street direct sequel reboot only with Riverdale actors?
How about this? We take a
Archie can play Freddy.
We take a comic strip, and then we put the Nightmare on Elm Street twist on that comic strip. So we take Calvin and Hobbes, we make that Nightmare on Elm Street, and have Hobbes be Freddy.
There's only like 4 characters in that, but okay.
There's 5. You're thinking about Susie.
Yeah, true. Susie can be Nancy.
Susie can be Nancy, and Calvin and Hobbes are just tag teaming her.
Okay.
Trying to get into her dreams.
Right. Okay, so let's move on to the recommend section. Okay, so now on to our recommends. I suppose I'll go first. Finishing up my Halloween viewings, I watched Psycho. Some might say is the original slasher movie, as well as It, the 1990 original. Psycho's pretty good. It definitely holds up. Norman Bates is super creepy. Obviously, like, I spoiled it for myself by reading the Wikipedia plot.
Why do you read Wikipedia?
No,
just stop going on websites. I do this every single time.
Because last summer, like, I went through a phase where I just read the plots of horror movies on Wikipedia. And like, yeah, but it was really good. It was freaky. Like, it gets you. It's quite good. It was interesting. We didn't actually mention this during our Nightmare on Elm Street talk, but the one thing about the movie that maybe I would have changed is like more Freddy. I wanted more Freddy. Like, he was sick in the little bits that he was in it. Like, I would have wanted a little bit more Freddy, and I felt that it suffered from the same thing. When Pennywise was around, it was really good, but the climax could have been a bit better for it. But I liked it. So basically, in 1991, there's like 2 ministries, I suppose, an hour and a half each. Roughly, it's like 3 hours. My God, it's so long. But the first part kind of focuses on the story of when they were kids and fighting the clown and whatnot, and the second part as adults. And I found the first part like a lot more compelling. But yeah, it was really good. Like, it's because a lot of it's like in their heads too. It's kind of kind of like Nightmare in a sense, where like only they can see certain things. I mean, it's interesting. It's almost like a dream in the fact that they can see certain things. Some things are real, some things are not, and it's about overcoming fear and whatnot. So it gets a bit into that about like kind of the in the latter half, it gets more a bit about the conceptual aspect of it and overcoming fear and all of that stuff. But it was not bad. More Pennywise would have been nice. I would put it in that second tier with Candyman and Nightmare and all of that.
So it's similar to the end of this movie where it's like, I'm not scared of you anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. Win. Yeah. Also, I mean, I was supposed to spoil it, but spoilers, like, he turns into like a giant spider at some point too, which is interesting.
No, but okay, guys, if you're ever in a horror movie scenario with being attacked by a monster, go up to him and be like, I'm not scared of you anymore, and 50% of the time you'll just be free to walk. Like,
yeah, you're good to
like
go.
Honestly, like, I'm feeling a trend here. Just if you're ever being pursued by a monster, it's in you in your dreams or like kind of creep around your corner, just say, I'm not scared of you, and you'll just be able to like live the rest of your life
scot free.
Yeah, exactly. Michael Scott will not be anywhere near you.
He will not.
No.
So,
scot free.
Do you have any recommends?
Yeah, I have 2 quick recommends here. Recently on Amazon Prime, a new series has been added called Truth Seekers.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, starring 2 of my favorite actors, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Let's go. Yeah. I'll watch that.
It's really, it shouldn't be this good. It has like a sense of just like, it's nice and creepy and scary. And some of the actors are annoying. Literally everyone's annoying except for Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Yeah.
There's a character called Elton John.
Oh boy.
And he's like, oh, I don't want to be a Wi-Fi repair guy. This is scary. Let's not do horror movie stuff anymore. It's annoying. But basically, Truth Seekers across the story of Nick Frost's character, his paranormal exploits as he finds this girl who has been being haunted by some weird ghost thing of her dead mom who's like died in a fire in like the first episode. And they have like every episode they have like a little thing. So like in the beginning they're like flashback to the past and it'll be like, this book I wrote in my own blood and the pages on my skin. And the guy's like, okay, how many copies do you want? It's like, no, there can be no copies of this book. And then they make copies of the book.
solid.
No, but it's like it shouldn't be that good. Like they have like a history element. It's like, oh yeah, this was like a World War II channel of like repeating numbers, and then like the numbers like change, and it's like, what does this mean? It's a perfect kind of middle of just like it's tense and scary, but isn't just like I will like not have nightmares forever.
Sure, yeah, 100%. Yeah, next year we'll definitely get into a lot more
Nightmares Forever movies.
Yeah,
oh, God, no.
Conjuring and.
I'm not looking forward to it.
I'm excited.
Anyway.
Too desensitized now.
One more thing though, I've been watching another Amazon Prime thing. I think this is from a few years back called Gordon Behind Bars.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So you know James. You know not James. Corden.
James Corden. James Corden got arrested.
No.
Oh my God.
Gordon Ramsay. My bad.
Oh, I'm James Corden.
And I'm behind bars. That's a Texas accent. I don't know why I did that.
I'm James Corden and I'm behind bars.
Anyway. Gordon Ramsay in his, search to find his new, TV show.
Oh,
he has only one love, Josh. And he loves yelling at people as he gets to cook.
Food.
Yeah.
Seems like a cool guy though.
Yeah, he honestly does. He was going to make a sandwich with his daughter in the James Corden show. They made like breakfast, and his like daughter's like, Dad's like, Dad, you suck. It like just makes breakfast.
Yeah.
And then James Corden's like, oh no, the eggshells are in the eggs.
The eggshells are in the egg.
Blimey.
Okay. So you watched the show?
Yeah. Gordon Behind Bars chronicles him trying to go into a prison and
break into a prison.
No. He goes into this prison and he tries to start a business in the prison of prisoners cooking and selling food.
Are you sure it's not like like cigarettes sliding across the prison floor, across bars and stuff? Yeah. It's through the bars
and playing harmonica.
Some like illegal prison black market.
Has a spoon and starts digging his way out, Shawshank style.
Yeah.
No, but it's actually like. I don't know. I just enjoy it for some reason because
Gordon's cool.
Yeah,
like the show, his stuff. I like watching his stuff too. I just watch. I'm like our mutual friend who just watched clips of The Office instead of watching the actual show. I just watched like a lot of Gordon clips.
Yeah, the mutual friend really sucks. Although she finally did watch The Office, so I guess
she did.
Yeah,
it's true. She finished it the other day actually. Congrats
to her.
Congrats to our mutual friend. This is a shout out for you.
We hope you never listen to this, and we hope you don't.
Please listen to this.
No.
Anyways, so yeah, you're enjoying it?
Yeah, it's really fun. Not fun. Why do I have to say everything's fun? It's not.
You say everything's fun. You say every episode's exciting.
It's very real. Like that's what I kind of like about the show.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually like real people, real prisoners. It's a documentary sort of thing. And then I love how I keep saying James Corden. Gordon Ramsay.
Does he get shivved?
No, but basically like they have like knives and stuff because they need to have knives to cook. And basically like someone loses a razor, like they can't find a razor, like a potato peeler, so they have to spend 3 hours searching for it, and then they have to and then he has to leave, and everyone they have to search them all down.
That's so cool.
And it realizes that they just miscounted, and the razor was there the whole time. No, but it's who will you be here next week? Tensions rise, people getting kicked out because they're just talking back to the guards and stuff.
Yeah,
it's a. I don't know. It's a very interesting show. It's very real.
Cool.
I enjoy it.
Nice. Very 100%. Excellent. Okay, so I suppose that's everything on this week's episode of the RobCast Podcast. New name TBD.
Yep.
We'll be talking to you tomorrow with our Mandalorian after show, season 2, episode 2 of The Mandalorian. We'll have that coming out for you. Another episode next week. We might do a different episode. We probably won't watch another movie. We'll do something different. We'll do a versus or something of that ilk.
Maybe a
kissing.
Maybe a kissing episode on the kissing booth. Yeah.
No, yeah, just
kissing booth episode.
Yeah, just where we run a RobCast kissing booth.
Yeah, virtually.
Sounds good. No, in real life.
Oh, in real life. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're Eskimo kissing with masks on.
No, we just kiss.
Okay, gotcha.
Full on makeup.
This is gonna be so cut out. This is.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, to all our RobCastians out there, we appreciate you. We love you.
Where can I find us, Joshua?
You can find us on Twitter at RobCast Podcast 1, RobCast Podcast 1 at gmail.com, Anchor, RobCast Podcast, YouTube, the RobCast Podcast.
And most recently, Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
I finally did it after
What's
a
it
year.
called again? What's the at?
2_men_.
Oh, you didn't change it?
_.
Okay.
DeLorean _
I don't begrudge you if you don't go on Instagram, because I'm not.
I have to change the
No one will ever find it.
Joshua will link it down. Just press the link in the description.
But
'Cause I'm gonna force you to do time codes.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for listening, everyone, and Rob out.